Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E Life in Motion. KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust. Serving Micronesia since 1938. Matson Navigation, serving Guam and Micronesia for 20 years. Cars Plus, Dodge Challenger, the undisputed champion. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dedido. Always open, always local.
Coming up on Prime Time, the jury reaches a verdict in the sex assault trial against a University of Guam professor. Also tonight, a man from Dedido has been arrested for a fatal auto pedestrian accident back in June. And volunteers come out and pick up trash sitting right above the island's aquifer located in Dedido. Isa Baza has that story.
Hafaday and good evening.
A Halloween party turning into a nightmare for students, and a University of Guam professor is now convicted, Crystal, for criminal sexual conduct.
Here's the latest on the verdict against Dr. Michael Ellert.
After a weekend in deliberations, jurors returned with a guilty verdict against University of Guam's Dr. Michael Ellert. Judge Vern Perez reading his fate in court today.
Not guilty on the first charge. Guilty on the second charge, attempted third-degree criminal sexual conduct, and guilty on the third charge, third-degree criminal sexual conduct.
That's not guilty for victim KP. She testified that she never looked back to see who touched her in the water. Guilty for the lesser included attempted third-degree criminal sexual conduct for victim FR. She testified that she screamed and jumped away when she felt someone touch her privates in the water. And guilty for third-degree criminal sexual conduct for victim HR. She testified the professor came from behind her in the water and moaned in her ears as he placed his hand into her bikini bottoms. Ellert's accusers were present in court today, some in tears. All three women attended a party at Ellert's Ipan home back in November 2014. After the hearing, prosecutor Matthew Heibel explained Ellert faces up to 16 years behind bars.
So each count is 1 to 8 years.
Defense attorney Jay Areola declined to comment after the verdict. Ellert will remain on house arrest until his sentencing on October 4.
Now, prior to the newscast, Assistant Attorney General Matthew Heibel issued a comment, quoting him now, "On behalf of the AG and our whole office, I would like to wholeheartedly thank the victims in this case. Their courage," he writes, in reporting these sexual assaults, and their fortitude to see this matter through to trial is both commendable and inspiring. Continuing, they will also have our gratitude. I'd also like to thank the jury for performing its service. Being a juror is a very difficult task. This was a long, hard-fought case, and throughout the trial, the jurors were committed to their duties of fairness, attentiveness, and impartiality.
Again, Jason is quoting Assistant Attorney General Matthew Heibel. UOG officials react to the conviction of one of their own. Here's more from the Manilao campus.
Courage. That's the sentiment echoed by education officials who reacted to the guilty verdict against University of Guam's Dr. Michael Ellert. UOG's Dr. Ron McNinch sits on the faculty senate and is a member of the Guam Education Board.
We have to have the courage to understand this is a sad day for the victims, and the victims really need to be remembered here.
McNinch applauding efforts for change on campus, but says it's affected past students too.
The protection of our students is paramount, and protecting our students against sexual harassment is extremely important. I think the university has taken some good steps in the last year or so to do that, but we need to maybe reach out to students from the past that may have had these encounters or problems, and it interfered with their ability to participate in our institution of higher learning.
Also reacting to the conviction of one of their own is UOG President Dr. Robert Underwood.
I acknowledge the courage of the women who came forward. I know it was very painful and difficult, and the basis for this verdict and this action was based entirely on their courage. And it really points up that people should speak out whenever they experience anything that makes them uncomfortable or anything that is even potentially criminal.
Ellert, who was placed on administrative leave shortly after the allegations surfaced in November 2014, won't be returning to the classroom.
Ellert's status, I think, basically is, well, I'd have to review the policies, and I'd have to review the applications of those policies. But certainly his chances of returning to the university are remote.
The case has greatly affected the Mangilaw campus. Underwood saying they've updated their policies.
We changed basically from no means no to a yes means no, yes, and that was an important shift. And we also declared that all people who, particularly faculty members who work at the university, are now responsible parties, that if they see something that they're supposed to report it to EEO, that they're not allowed the option of reporting it or not reporting it.
UOG has since established a hotline number. That number is 735-HELP.
In other island news headlines, a 40-year-old man has been arrested for a fatal car crash in June. Police say Richard Dede Austria was operating a Mitsubishi Montero when he allegedly struck Roki Rokop, who was crossing the street near Uncle Cho's Mart in Mangilaw. Rokop was transported to Guam Regional Medical City, where he passed away as a result of his injuries. Austria was arrested for a vehicular homicide, negligent homicide, reckless driving with injuries, and speeding in a posted zone. Rokop, who was 46 years old, was the 5th traffic-related fatality of the year.
A man with a history of stalking is rearrested and charged for contacting the same victim from inside prison walls. Court documents state the victim reported Gregory Lathiel Reese to police last week, alleging he contacted others from inside the prison to check her residence and follow her. The victim reported having a protective order against Reese. Last year, a search of the prison revealed Reese had a phone hidden in a shower drain. Phone logs showed Reese had contacted the victim, but all his calls were auto-rejected. DOC Deputy Director Kate Baltazar tells KUAM Reese is confined in Post 6, which is the prison's maximum security unit. He's being charged with advanced stalking, family violence, violation of a court order, and harassment.
In other news, Deputy Attorney General Joseph McDonald will be Guam's new chief prosecutor. The AG's office said so just before our broadcast. McDonald is currently in charge of the AG's white-collar crime unit, replacing Chief Prosecutor Phil Tydinko, who retires on the 11th. McDonald received his JD in 1998 from Lewis and Clark, clerked for the Guam Supreme Court in 1999, until his return to Guam in 2014, working in banking and commercial law in Florida.
The port will not have to pay out a more than $15 million award to Y2K Corporation, at least until the Supreme Court rules on its last-ditch appeal. Superior Court Judge Anita Sokola on Monday granted the port's a motion for a stay on her December 2016 order that confirmed the arbitration award to YTK for the lease of Hotel Wharf. The port argued it would suffer irreparable harm if it were forced to pay now. In her decision, Judge Sokola wrote that she finds there is a, quote, potential threat of irreparable harm, but she disagreed with the port's argument that it was likely to succeed on appeal, a position she said was clear in her previous decision and ordered to uphold the initial $14 million arbitration award. YTKR attorney Genevieve Rapata said they had been willing to work with the port and sought an expedited appeal, but the port was not responsive. The award continues to accrue interest, and the parties in the years-long dispute will now prepare to argue before the Supreme Court. Rapata says it is in the best interest of all that the issue be resolved as soon as possible.
Well, the Hanson Helicopter Company, in other news, raided last year by federal agents, will now have access to documentation that might explain what led to the seizure of certain property, including helicopters. Federal Judge Joaquin Manabusan granted the company's request to release the search warrants issued to the U.S. Attorney in October. But the judge ordered that the redacted copies remain sealed to the public because public disclosure may seriously jeopardize the investigation. Attorney David Lujan says the business deploys its helicopters as spotters aboard fishing vessels. A hearing is set at the end of the month.
Last week, we first told you about the Fed's lawsuit, and now we've learned that a formal complaint has been filed with the Guam Department of Labor against Major Tumon Hotel Verona Resort and Spa. Wage and Hour Administrator Roman Kinata confirmed the formal complaint was made late last week. While he could not provide the specifics, he did say the division typically handles complaints relative to payment issues with employers. He noted Verona employers have made several informal complaints to the department over late pay, bounced check, and other payroll issues in the past. He said the case is currently under investigation. KUAM was unable to reach Verona President David Su for comment as of news time.
Well, numbers, as you know, do not lie, and cameras and pictures don't either.
Valerie Maige has the story on what local, small, and big businesses alike are doing to combat criminals.
To date this year, there have been 823 burglaries, 454 of those being the burglaries of homes, followed by burglaries against local businesses.
And while those numbers may change throughout the year, businesses big and small are doing what they can to ensure they're protecting their storefronts.
Jeff Duenas is the loss prevention manager with Payless Supermarkets and is no stranger to crime and law enforcement. He's a 10-year veteran of the Guam Police Department. When Duenas was hired, he was given the task of establishing a self-sustaining security department for the supermarket. Spending nearly $250,000 and hiring 30 employees, the supermarket is more ready than ever to combat theft or any other crimes that may occur within their establishments. All 8 Payless locations are monitored throughout, on the ground, and with the most up-to-date technology in security cameras.
The technology that was offered to us, we were able to do facial recognition with the system. So if repeat offenders do come into our stores, our system will notify us that the offender had returned back to our stores.
If you do return, it's considered illegal trespassing. And the same way Duenas is tracking customers, he can track products too.
Take a picture of our blue label, put it on the system. At the minute the blue label is being moved or is being caught on the camera, it will notify us that the liquor's in the carts. We can also do line detection. For example, the late at night, like at 2 o'clock after the non-alcohol can be, or alcoholic beverage cannot be purchased, we can draw a line now on the alcoholic beverage area, and it'll tell us that if somebody's there trying to get alcohol.
Fiber optics and internet-based communications help with the high-tech system's efficiency, and Duenas says his team is catching 9 people per week on average.
People are freaking out when they get caught, and they're like, I didn't take it. Then when we show them the videos, they're like, wow.
Meanwhile, Ina Carrillo is the owner of Budget Bridal and Blush Boutique, 2 thriving stores in Agana. And while she is operating on a much smaller scale, she also has taken measures of her own. Carrillo says they carry minimal amounts of cash in store at all times and none at night. There are also infrared cameras inside and outside the store, allowing all activity to be seen. They alert Carrillo and staff to all motion, especially while the stores are closed.
Carrillo says they have a zero-tolerance policy against theft and will press charges against anyone breaking those rules. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Valerie Maige.
Stick around for more news here on Primetime.
There are more ways to experience KUAM News than any other source on Guam. Download the KUAM News app for your Apple or Android device for 24/7 news, sports, videos, weather, streaming with KUAM radio, and important news alerts. And stay connected at home with Guam's first app for Apple TV. All available now from the App Store.
Have you gotten paid yet? That's the premium automatic insurance deduction plan from Calvo's Insurance. Paid simplifies your home and auto insurance. No down payment. No more long lines. And you can stretch your payments up to 12 months. Paid is convenient. It deducts from your payroll, your checking account, or your credit card. With Paid, you get up to 65% off your car insurance and enjoy lifestyle club discounts. Life can be easier when you get paid.
Call Calvo's Insurance today and save on your home and auto insurance.
This is Tabby. Tabby's service provider is IT&E. This allows her to walk on campus without having to rely on Wi-Fi.
Hey, Abby. Hey, I switched to the IT&E student plan just like you. I love how affordable their plan is. I'm so glad I switched to IT&E. What?
Get up to 5 gigs a month for just $30 and the first 3 months free at IT&E.
Hyundai's summer clearance event is happening now at Guam's best dealership, Cars Plus and Mighty. With financing as low as 1.99%. There's no better time to drive a new Hyundai Accent, ranked highest in initial quality, starting at just $11,995. Or the new Hyundai Elantra starting at $16,995. SUV lovers, check out the new Hyundai Tucson starting at $19,995. Plus, every new Hyundai gets Guam's best warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles. It's our Hyundai summer clearance event going on now at Cars Plus and Mighty. Cars Plus, driven by you.
The Down Syndrome Association of Guam exists to support families of individuals with Down syndrome. We're a group of parents who have children with Down syndrome and know the joys and challenges of raising them. For more information about the health, development, and education of a child or adult with Down syndrome, please contact Vicky Areola at 472-6114.
Oh!
Oh!
Oh! Ruby Tuesday puts the O in dinner combos with Garden Bar Plus entrees for only $20.99. Choose salmon moco, petite sirloin, or pesto chicken pasta. Only at Ruby Tuesday. Oh!
Connect with KUAM News. Find us on your favorite social media platform. Follow us and stay in the know with Guam's news leader.
The U.S. flexed its military muscle, reacting to North Korea launching a ballistic missile over the weekend. Analysts say the missile had the range to hit Los Angeles, possibly Chicago, or even New York. Daniel Nottingham has details.
The United States flew 2 supersonic B-1 bombers over the Korean peninsula today, escorted by South Korean and Japanese fighter jets. A direct response to North Korea's most advanced missile test to date. Overnight, the U.S. demonstrated its ability to intercept ballistic missiles in a planned test of the THAAD missile defense program in Alaska. Michael Genovese is president of the Global Policy Institute at Loyola Marymount University.
These small little steps, a flyover, joint military activities, all of those are designed to let the adversary, maybe the opponent, know that we're ready, we're prepared, we've got our eyes open.
North Korea reacted on state-run television, saying if the U.S., quote, continues to resort to military adventure and tough sanctions, the DPRK will respond with its resolute act of justice. The White House is pressing the global community to act. President Trump tweeted, "I am very disappointed in China. They do nothing for us with North Korea."
The United States calling on China, other countries, saying this isn't just our problem.
It's true we need international support, but you also need American leadership. If we don't lead, this doesn't get solved.
North Korea's sole ally, China, condemned the launches, saying they violate UN Security Council resolutions, but said the country does not hold the key to resolving the issues in the Korean peninsula.
Danielle Nottingham, KUAM Guam's News Network.
We should note the bombers that conducted the flyover in South Korea flew out of Guam.
Now, more locally, Homeland Security Advisor George Charteris maintains that they are keeping a close eye on the situation, noting this is the second ICBM test by the rogue state this month. The first just so happened to come on the 4th of July.
Yeah, this is South Korea. I'm sorry. Does not look like an S or a 5. That was a message to us on the 4th of July. And of course, they tested another one the end of this month. That's near some anniversary or some event in North Korea. Both launches were successful in terms of traveling the distance, but not necessarily the other factors that go into the missile launch, like accuracy or the payload.
Charteris noted he has full confidence in the U.S. military's ability to defend against any possible threats, adding the THAAD missile system has a 100% accuracy rate.
North Korea's latest launch comes ahead of 2 separate military exercises getting underway this week on Guam. Citadel Pacific 2017 kicked off today. The annual anti-terrorism exercise is designed to enhance training and readiness of U.S. airmen and Navy security forces. Residents can expect noticeably loud noises, smoke, sirens around the island during the 1-week exercise. Additionally, if you're heading to Anderson or Big Navy, you can anticipate traffic delays and temporary suspension of the Trusted Traveler program from August 1st to 3rd.
KUAM 2017 kicked off today. It aims to boost interoperability between ally nations in the Asia Pacific and includes subsurface assets and reconnaissance aircraft from several countries, including New Zealand and Japan. It runs through the 12th.
Volunteers from across the government and community came together to tackle one of the island's worst illegal dump sites over the weekend as part of the Basta Ibasula initiative. Isa Baza has more.
And it was bad. It was really bad.
That's what Governor's spokesperson Oyanira Rikwe said of the amount of trash discovered during the island-wide beautification cleanup held off Chalan Lamasu in Dedido over the weekend. The area was singled out thanks to concerns raised by Dedido Mayor Melissa Savares.
It doesn't hit you until you get there just how bad it was. I mean, we found metallic waste, we found, white goods, we found old air conditioning systems.
The dump site is nestled between 3 water wells and lies directly above the island's aquifer.
And the aquifer is where most of the island gets its water from, the water that they bathed in this morning, that they brushed their teeth in.
Over 200 volunteers from government of Guam agencies and community organizations came out to the cleanup that collected over 50 cubic yards of household trash.
And the thing is, we're not even done yet. We still have 2 bins that we're still filling up with tires, 2 bins, another bin that we're still filling up with white goods, and there was a lot there, and it was really kind of overwhelming.
She said in addition to cleaning and blocking off these areas, the government is also looking to boost enforcement.
The law already calls for a fine, but I think part of the challenge is in not just catching these folks, but making sure that in the court of law they're held accountable.
She thanked participants and noted another cleanup event is scheduled for this October. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Isa Baza.
The island's federal receiver, Gershman, Brickner, and Bratton, recently reported to the federal court that all systems for both the Ladzon landfill and Orta dump are working as designed and do comply with all applicable environmental laws and regulations. The organization informed the court that a small area outside the Orta dump continues to emit a small amount of landfill gas. After consultation with the local and federal EPAs, the receiver will begin drilling in the area to determine if additional steps are needed to address the issue.
The Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center receives the highest level of accreditation from the Commission of Accreditation of Rehabilitation Facilities. The agency provides comprehensive mental health services, alcohol and drug program, and services locally. Currently, they provide services to a total of 2,266 consumers. The accreditation is good until June of 2020.
Please stay tuned, everybody, because coming up next in sports, local bodybuilder Greg Monk has been crowned a champion. We'll tell you about that. But first, here is your island weather.
What can I say? My family was tired of seeing red from internet data caps. We switched to GTA and life is good again. Sure, it took a bit of time for some of us to adjust to our newfound internet freedom.
Don't turn off the show. How does it end?
Relax, honey. The data limits are gone. You can watch the whole show now.
But we're all happy with the change, and I think it's even earned me some cool points.
You rock, Mom.
That's right. It's getting lit up in here. How about that?
Okay. So I need to finish this homework now.
Okay, I'm done. My son, though, he's in the midst of a serious rebellion. Rebelling against an alien invasion, that is. Oh, yeah.
Free yourself. Switch to GTA Home Internet today. Truly unlimited with no data caps or additional usage fees.
At Shell, it's about offering more than just fuel. It's about providing service to people. From hot coffees to warm welcomes, from clean bathrooms to fresh food, we're on a mission to make you leave happier than when you arrived. So whatever your journey, we're here. Welcome to service. Welcome to Shell. Serving the islands for over 30 years. Share your story at Shell Foodies Guam on Instagram and Facebook. Hashtag Station Stories, hashtag Shell Guam.
A wise man once said that life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. You don't always see that 10% coming when you get hurt or feel the devastation. For over 40 years, Alpha Insurers reacts quickly for you to provide you with peace of mind. Always. Alpha Insurers, protecting your good things in life.
Just wash it later, bro. Ask your mommy to do it for you since you still live at home.
Yeah. I don't even know how to do my own laundry.
something weird.
What's that?
I'm always tired on Thursdays.
Well, we do always go out every Wednesday night.
Wait, what day is it?
Bruh, tonight's Wednesday.
I have work in 6 hours.
How do you not know the days of the week?
Welcome back, Grandma. Wow.
I did a lot of shopping in Italy, and I met a nice man.
Ciao. Gino.
Gino.
Da Italia.
He's Italian.
Very cool.
Buick now has an SUV for that. The new Buick Envision. One of Buick's luxury SUVs. Get 15% below MSRP on all 2017 Envision preferred vehicles. That's over $5,600 on this Envision. Visit Autospot Buick today.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
What's up, Guam? Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports. Thanks for watching. I have some info on local bodybuilder Greg Monk receiving his pro card. I'll get to that in just a bit. But first off, some 3-on-3 basketball. Check it out. The 3-on-3 national championship went down at the UOG Cabo Fieldhouse on Saturday for the men and women's division. The one-day tournament featured 6 teams in each division, with our national team players matched up against one another. Tournaments like these allow players to put themselves into FIBA's system and earn points towards a higher ranking for 3-on-3 basketball.
Invitation-only tournament for now, just a stepping stone. We're just a start. We're only the national team with the invite of the Anderson Bombers and the UOG Tritons. But we're going to be opening up some more, hopefully monthly tournaments to open up to the public.
GBC is excited about the news of 3-on-3 being an Olympic sport, as well as trying to have Guam be represented in as many games as possible. The goal is to have a Guam team in every age group to take advantage of opportunities given around the world for 3-on-3 competition.
As you know, it's a street ball game. But what we can do is, as smaller countries, we can compete at the highest level with other countries. So we're looking forward to every opportunities and try to take advantage of it. It's not only going to be for Turkmenistan coming up in September. It's going to be in Vanuatu in December. And just got word that it's going to be in the Pacific Games, the upcoming Pacific Games in 2019 as well.
The GBC has already selected players to fill the men's and women's 3-on-3 national teams. With the success of our men's program, head coach E.J. Calvo says the team will continue to improve and put in work.
We're going to keep training our players. We've selected a team for the games in Turkmenistan, and we're going to be working to put together a squad to represent both men and women in Vanuatu, as well as the youth. We've had success in previous Oceania 3-on-3 games. And actually won the gold medal last year down in the Gold Coast. So we're excited about what 3-on-3 has to bring for Guam basketball.
Jonathan Galloway won the dunk contest. Legend Glover from the Anderson Bombers came in second. National team player Ben Borja took home third. Guam 4 won the men's gold over Guam 1. Ty Wesley hit the eventual game-winning shot for the 11-10 win. On the girls' side, Team Darren edged out Team Cali 7-6 for the tournament title. Special Olympics Guam is looking for volunteers and coaches to help out with their upcoming bowling league. Volunteers and coaches ages 14 and up are being asked to check out the Special Olympics Facebook page or call 648-7648 to sign up. Coaches will be asked to provide instruction in beginner through advanced levels and guide the athletes in team spirit and good sportsmanship. The first training session for Special Olympic athletes start on August 12th.
Athletes need to be there at 9 o'clock if they haven't registered yet. We'd like them to pre-register so most of them know how to get in contact with me, so through Facebook or WhatsApp. So they'll run from August 12th all the way through the end of September, and then we'll have our tournament.
Practice sessions for the athletes will run for 8 weeks leading up to the October 7th bowling tournament. Athletes can still register up to August 19th. Special Olympics Guam is hoping to